One of the pillars of building up a network of clients and collaborators and community is to be intentional about who you proactively stay in touch with and the relationships that you are willing to let slip. Maybe you connect with them on social media, you connect with them on LinkedIn, but you are not going to make any proactive effort to maintain those relationships. We only have so much time on earth, and therefore we have to be picky about who we choose to spend our time with. So that means that we have to have some formula for organizing or prioritizing our relationships. Now, all too often, I've seen people get led astray because they focus on finding the quote important people, meaning that if you have a C in your title or a VP in your title, I want to stay in touch with you. If it looks like you've accomplished a lot in your career already, great, that's important for me. If I think you can give me money or lead to future sale, that's important too. So we oftentimes focus on the quote important people. Or we think about, well, who can lead to the most business and use that as the primary indicator. So there are a couple challenges with that. One of them is, well, can you actually connect with them? Just because someone's important or someone could lead to future business, does that mean that you are actually able to build a relationship with them? That's not necessarily always so clear. I've met plenty of executives and well-known founders and investors, and I can tell there's just no energy or connection, and I'd be struggling to figure out what to say to them that would allow me to really connect with them because I just felt that just the connection wasn't there. And that leads to the second point. If I were to say, hey, I want you to go and follow up with that person today, would you know what to say? Or more importantly, would you be excited to stay in touch with them? Would you be excited to reach out to them? Or would this just be struggle and you wouldn't know what to say and you'd be scratching your head and you would spend half an hour trying to craft like a simple 10-word email? You'd be struggling. If I were to ask you to do that again in a few months and again a few months later and more after that, multiply that by tens or hundreds of relationships, all of a sudden building a network becomes this horrible chore that you hate. And one thing that we know is that the more we enjoy a task, the easier it is, the more likely we are to repeat it. And so therefore, one of the most important tactics when it comes to building up a network is to identify and prioritize our relationships, not just on importance or their value. That can actually be secondary. Instead, it's focusing on our level of connection. Do we like that person? Do they like us? Is there a real flow and authenticity to that relationship? Joe Polish, in his book, he talks about easy, lucrative, and fun relationships. We want relationships that it's easy to connect to. And lucrative, of course, it could lead to future business opportunities or collaboration. And fun. It's actually fun to spend time with them. I'm really enjoying even our email conversations back and forth. Another way to think about it is prioritize your database based on people you love, people you like, and then they're the people that you don't really know or don't really care about. Or it can be based on energy level. I'm really excited, I'm kind of excited, and I'm not really sure yet. But that's going to help us because, of course, when it comes to engaging with the people that we are excited about, we are genuinely going to want to talk to them. We already know where to pick up the conversation. Whereas the people that we're not really excited about, we're not really sure what to say. So it might just be a quick check-in text or an email that's coming from a template, and that might be okay. But the key point here is that, yes, it is always important to be thinking about our long-term goals and the people that can help achieve those goals. I'm not saying that's not important, but if we only focus on those goals, we're missing out on the necessity of maintaining a consistent relationship over time. And let's face it, There's some people that we are going to be excited about engaging with and vice versa, and some we're not. So the ideal is to find people who sit at the intersection of overall business value or collaboration opportunity and people that we really like and want to support and want to work with over a long period of time. So just think about that when you're prioritizing your database, whether it's setting up categories in your CRM or columns in a spreadsheet, doesn't necessarily matter. But think about not just importance to your goals, but do I like them?